picture's a pretty one, Ulysses. There it is.
Hello BookTube, I'm Sean the Book Maniac. Welcome back to my channel. Here I am with a one book haul because this book is so special. Sounds so interesting that it deserves an introductory video all of its own. I haven't read it yet, but I just got it in the mail a couple weeks ago and it was really hard to track down. Can't remember how I found out about it, some tweet or ever, story of my book discovering life. But it is a collection of short stories from India, and it was the title that arrested me. Look at this title. Father may be an elephant, and mother only a small basket, but by Gogu Shyamala. Translated from the Indian language Telugu by umpteen translators. I think almost every short story in the book has a different translator, so I'm not going to list those here or in the show notes, at least not until I do a full review. Published in English in 2012. Again, I can't remember how I found out about it, but the title and then the little bit that I learned about her, Shyamala, captured my imagination, and the only copy I could get off Amazon from a marketplace seller was from New Zealand, and it took a while for them to even acknowledge my order, but it did arrive. And if you are interested in this book, you might have similar problems. I can't tell you whether it's worth that trouble yet, but I just love the fact that this book exists. So a little bit about Gogu Shyamala. She was born in 1969. And she belongs to the Dalit caste, offensively known as the untouchable caste. And she was born in what is now Telangana. Telangana is a state in the south of India. Capital city is Hyderabad. And she is a Dalit feminist writer and activist there. She's written quite a bit in her own native language, Telugu, but this is the first of her fiction that has been translated. She lives in Hyderabad, and she is a fellow at the Anveshi Research Center for Women. So she just sounds fascinating, and there's stuff about her in Telugu language on YouTube. The title! Father may be an elephant, and mother only a small basket, but... Okay, so if you've read any fiction from India, or if you know anything about India, you know that being Dalit is the layers and layers of oppression and violence that people from this group have endured over centuries up until the present is horrific. And I'm assuming these stories will be tough going. The stories are set in the Madaga quarter of a Telangana village. Madaga is a subcaste of Dalit. That's as much as I understand. No, I understood more. I just blanked when I was filming it. The Madaga subcaste is primarily shoemakers and other artisans, tanners, etc. I don't know when I'll get to this book. Probably not this year. I don't know if I can wait until the Women in Translation readathon next autumn, isn't that when it is, in the autumn, to get to it. But if I haven't gotten to it by then, I sure will be number one on my TBR for that. But I just wanted to tell you this book exists and read to you about a page and a half from the title story. So let me set it up with some vocabulary, just to make it flow a little better. And this is all vocabulary that I had to look up, so maybe you knew some or all of it, but I didn't. This story has two translators whose names are a challenge. The first translator is Unagantha Tandrikana, and the second translator is Ukula Bhutanta Tali Nayam. It took me a while to figure out what this book was after I got it, because I thought that maybe these were the authors, because each story had different names here, and that they were all translated by her, but no, it's the opposite. And I like the way the title story starts. So the first word that I didn't know was a bund, B-U-N-D, which is just an embankment, okay? And much more localized to India, or perhaps to this part of India, is the game Cherugudu. And Cherugudu, it's a contact team sport from ancient India, also known as kabaddi, played by two teams of 7 players. The object of the game is to run onto the other side of the court and touch or tag as many people without yourself being touched and getting back to your own side. I will put a link in the show notes to a video of rather sexy adult Indian males playing this game, just to give you a visual image of whatever you might want to conjure up an image of. But this game in this story is played by children. The passage I'm going to share with you ends with a song by a Telugu folk singer whose name is Pandugala Sayana. So more about him in a minute. A boy in the story is holding a Vaili stick. Vaili is just the name of a tree in that part of India, or in India. Couldn't find out too much about that. And he is... Oh, just a second. I was just confused there because it says in the story that he's singing a kinera. So what I found, a kinera is a stringed instrument, ancient stringed instrument. Beautiful. Here's a picture from India. And I'm assuming when it means sing, a song, singing a kinera, that he's singing a song that is meant to be accompanied by this musical instrument. And here is a sample of, not that folk singer, but just a random sample of the kinera stringed instrument. I love that sound. And then I'm going to end this reading when she starts to sing the famous Pandurgala Sayana song, because I couldn't find that song because everything's in Telugu. So instead, I'm just going to, once I get to where she starts to sing, I'm just going to play you a minute or two of one of his songs to close. And there'll be no outro because it would just kind of ruin the mood. And that's my introduction to Father May Be an Elephant and Mother Only a Small Basket, but by Gogu Shyamala. All the children gathered on the bunds outside the village as the sun broke briefly through the rain clouds. It was just before dusk. The droplets on the grass glistened in the sunlight. The boys played chedu-gudu in one corner, and the girls played hide-and-seek, running to catch each other. The younger boys always played with the girls. We flipped a coin, head or tails, and today it was Bindla Ramulu's turn to catch us. We hid behind the bushes, between large sleepy rocks, and under the mountain-high bunds. We were lost in our game, and nothing in the world could distract us. We had not played like this in all the days it had been raining. We were desperate not to let a moment go to waste. The newly washed sun pierced once again through the dark clouds. A rainbow blossomed. It was perfect. We counted from one side and we counted from the other side, trying to find all the 7 colors. Though she counted many times, Pot-belly Narcy could only find 6. When I found all 7, I jumped with joy again and again, until from a distance I heard one of Pandurgala Sayana's songs being sung. It was Talari Anthana on the bund of the village tank. He was mounted on his buffalo, a long baili stick in his hand, and singing a kinera. I strained to listen. It was my favorite song, this Pandurgala Sayana song. When my ears picked up the words, I started to sing along.